For our four-part series of the NASM continuing of inhibition, lengthening, activation, and integration, we're going to look at a couple of streamlined flows that we can go through to work out some of the kinks and compensations that we were seeing within the overhead squat video. So first and foremost, with the inhibition, we're going to grab one of our foam rollers from Viper. This allows us to have vibration in it as well to be able to get some further relaxation within the body. You're able to choose 3 varying levels. We're going to focus on the posterior compartment. We're going to start from the back of the leg, and then we're going to roll all the way down to where the calcaneus and the Achilles tendon are. We're going to roll back and forth between here, trying to find hot spots or spots that are more tender. If you find a spot that's tender, hang out there for a couple seconds, let the vibration and the pressure do its job, and then roll out in the smaller sections, and then go back to broad strokes. We're going to sit here and utilize this for 30 seconds, and then we will move on to the lengthening phase. One of our exercises that we're going to focus on within the lengthening phase is taking our band and going into a banded calf stretch, which will pull us into greater ranges of dorsiflexsion. So from here, level 1, we will obviously want to give progressions and regressions to make this harder for particular individuals that may not be challenged by this. You can pull the foot back and just relax into a static stretching position. But if that is comfortable, you're going to have a pad back here. You're going to lay back, bring the foot up, and then drop the opposite leg into an ASLR, active straight leg raise. This is going to give us level 2 of what we've been looking at into that banded calf stretch. You'll get a stretch within the in the lower leg compartment from the Achilles all the way back up to that posterior part of the knee that we were looking at, and we'll utilize that for our lengthening phase. Right after that, we're going to move over to the bench. We're going to use a pad for our knee just for comfortability. And we are going to use the bench as feedback. We're going to go into our FRC principles and go into pails and rails, progressive angular isometric loading and regressive angular isometric loading as 2 of our exercises we're going to utilize. What you're going to do is then get to a half kneel position, rock forward and keeping the heel down. Once you get to the portion where the heel starts to come off an inch, that is your stopping point for there. What you're then going to do is focus on gas pedaling the toes down into the ground for your progressive angular isometric lows or pails. And then once you get done with that 10-second duration of trying to gas pedal a little bit further, trying to get up to about 100% by that 10th second, then you're going to stay in that range of motion and then try to pull the toes up. And then that's going to be our regressive angular isometric load or our rails. Same premise, gas pedaling, pulling the toes up, trying to get a little bit more every single second, going up to that 100% by the 10th second. Once you get done, you're going to rock back out of it, and that is going to be the part of our activation series. Once we're done, we're going to utilize our Kaiser to be able to come back over here and then get into our integration. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the split squats and this cable to be able to get us into the particular position where we're going to allow the knee to come forward and the split squat to be able to integrate the ranges of motion that we just worked on from here. So what we're going to do is take the cable, put it in the hand of the leg that is going back. You obviously want to set up in a good split squat position where you can be pretty vertical within this to start out with. What we're going to do is there's tension on this cable. It's going to pull us forward into this position, getting us into greater ranges of motion. But what we want to do first is get the hip underneath us so that we're not getting a stretch through the hip flexors. More or less, we want all the weight to be on the front part of the leg. We'll sit into it, letting the cable pull us forward, the knee come forward, and stand back up out of it. Forward motion on the way down, then push and stand back up on the way up. All right? 4 parts of the NASM continuum in how to address some of our compensations, and we're